Buying property abroad can be a very different experience from purchasing one in the UK, not least because every country has its own rules and regulations. However, there are some guiding principles we should all follow so the stress and expense doesn't get out of control. As well as finding the right location, somewhere you'll be happy living or attractive as a holiday let, find out about local laws on buying and renting. Make sure any negotiations and transactions are all agreed in writing, and never be frightened to query something that either doesn't make sense or that you don't understand. This is where an independent and trusted translator could be worth their salt. Don't forget that as the buyer, it's incumbent on you to make sure there are no nasty surprises at any stage. So while it might seem too obvious, check that the seller actually owns the title deeds to the property and that they are legally allowed to transfer them to you. Make sure that there are also no outstanding liabilities on the property to a third party, and find out what will happen if you want to sell the property on in the future. Pay particular attention to tax laws that differ from country to country and can also change. Do a thorough check on the utilities, such as water and electric, to make sure that they're all in working order. Even better, try and find an estimate of the monthly running costs of the property so you understand exactly how much you're going to need to budget for. If you can become friendly with the neighbours, as well as making life more fun, they're likely to have years of valuable knowledge that will make owning the property much easier. Remember, summers and winters in other parts of the world offer very different challenges to the UK. Integrating with the local community can also be a great way of finding reliable local tradespeople. And when you do, it's always best to ask for them to show you some previous examples of work that they've completed. Unless you are well versed in the language, an independent English-speaking lawyer who's licensed to practice and is experienced in property sales can be an absolute godsend. They need to be qualified both in the UK and overseas, and ideally have experience of operating in the country in which you are buying. They should also have professional indemnity insurance. You should also ask about drawing up a will in the country where you'll own the property, as inheritance laws may differ to that of the UK. Few of us can buy a property without borrowing some money, and that's where a mortgage comes in. Don't automatically take a mortgage recommended by the seller or their agent, but look for the right deal for you, paying special attention to the interest rate, repayment period, and all the associated fees. Just as in the UK, additional costs will also rear their heads, ranging from bank transfer fees to fees for shipping furniture to tax liability if you ever choose to sell the property. Finally, buying off-plan inevitably incurs greater risks too, so look for extra guarantees if this is the route you're choosing, and keep copies of all receipts. Before you commit, find out in advance what will happen if the development is delayed, and again, you may wish to seek legal advice on this.